childcare. Question. My recent year income was more than enough, but 2017, I was 2,000 shortage. Do I still have to go to co-sponsor? Plus, I have money or savings account to cover the shortage. I would try to get a co-sponsor because it doesn't hurt. I don't know what I'm not looking at your tax returns, so it doesn't hurt to get a co-sponsor. So do it. If you're concerned that you're close, maybe you're not close, always error on the side of caution and get a second one. A Pote Bill says, hey, Brad, my daughter's visa interview has been rescheduled past her 18th birthday due to coronavirus. Will the government make exception for Child Citizenship Act so she can get her citizenship? I have not seen anything that they will make that exception. So unfortunately, no at the moment. Salman Muhammad did a second Stokes interview. I moved to another state and the file transferred to the current state again, moved back to the old state again. File was sent back to the original state. Chances of a third interview? Really good. Chances of never getting a green card? Keep moving states. Stay where you are so you can eventually get through. Every time you move from state to state, you go to the back of the line at the new state. Stay still. Get the ants out of your pants. Danelle Toussaint said, hey, Brad, my wife filed the I-130 for me since June 2019. It was not approved yet. How long do you think it's going to take to get approved? Damn, I don't have the magic 8-ball. I have no idea when it will be approved. But if your wife is a U.S. citizen, she filed for you June 2019, you got, and you know, we have coronavirus time, you got to figure sometime around June 2020. It takes about a year right now. Tally saying, welcome everybody. Hit that gray button. Thank you, Tally. Thank you for getting on them. Ruth Agby. Hello, Uncle Brad. This is Ruth from Texas. Please, I came to the United States in November 2018. I have overstayed my visa from Nigeria. Can my son, who is a U.S. citizen, still do adjustment of status, or do I need to hire a lawyer? If you're asking a lawyer if you need to hire a lawyer, the answer is you need to hire a lawyer. Because right now, three things I can tell you, okay, why you need a lawyer. One, Donald Trump's in the White House. Two, Donald Trump put a ban on Nigerians. You're from Nigeria. Three, you live in Texas. You got 3 strikes against you. You need a lawyer for sure. Call me 1-800-529-5465. Not that there's anything against my friends and squad in Texas. It's just immigration service in Texas. You know, they don't play games over there. So definitely, I would suggest having a lawyer. Wade Nelson, I'm a U.S. citizen. I filed for my child. She came to the States with a green card, lived with me for 3 months, left without a U.S. passport. Will there be any problems returning after a year outside of the United States? Yes, because you have to stay, if you stay out of the United States for more than 6 months, you have abandoned your permanent residence. She's going to need a SB visa, and I would suggest you get a good lawyer to help you with that. Healthy Way, good evening, Brad. How do you get an I-131 approved? File it. I mean, how do you get an I-131 approved? How do you cross the street? How do you, chicken ass, what is it? The chicken cross the road wants to know how to chicken cross the road. I don't know, something like that. I mean, how do you get an I-131 approved? Fill it out properly and file it. Let's go to Facebook. Let's see what's going on Facebook. Facebook questions. Jean Thomas Webb. Squad up. Hi, Uncle Brad. Is there any sample online how to fill out the I-944? I answered that. Not that I'm aware of. It's a really difficult form. Generally, I would suggest hire a lawyer. Rose Rosette. We're going to adopt a child from Algeria, not an orphan. Is there any way to bring him to the USA to meet the 2 years legal and physical custody? Is there anything we should do before adoption abroad? You cannot bring a child here for purposes of having 2 years of residence to adopt him. You have to, the child has to be an orphan. Now, you can be an orphan in multiple ways. You could be an orphan because you can be an orphan. You can be an orphan because your parents are dead. You could also be an orphan because you know, your parents abandoned you, they neglected you. So there's lots of different ways that you could be an orphan. So I would suggest at least and minimally, let's have a consultation and see if this child is an orphan. Maybe, a lot of times when parents want to give up their child, they can't support them. They've neglected them, abandoned them. So let's see what the story is there. Juliet Hilaire says, hi, Brad. My friend was VAWA. They requested for more evidence by March. She sent it in February. She got no response. Now she is out of status since Monday. All the offices are closed, so she can't apply for an extension. Can she be deported? Why is she out of status on Monday? If she filed for a VAWA and you have an adjustment pending and there's no response, you're not out of status. If you're saying I don't have my green card, or I didn't get my if you filed an I-360, you're in status until they make a decision. They're not going to deport you. You should have filed an adjustment application. If you haven't, that's what you should be doing. Give me a call, 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Zanib Zendrenif. Zanib, hi, Brad. Does God bless my renewal? Hi, Brad. God bless. I don't know if he's saying God bless Brad or God bless his renewal. Well, let's bless your renewal on your EAD. I have enough blessings today. Let's bless your renewal on your EAD. He filed it almost 8 months ago. He did not yet receive even a notice of action. My automatic 180 days ends. Can I apply for unemployment because EAD is not? You can always try to apply for unemployment, but you're not legal to be working right now, so I doubt that they will give it to you. But the worst they'll say is no. Rose Red. Hi, Brad. Good to see you again. I'm an immigration officer called me, said, can you meet me at the Dunkin Donuts? So thought it was a scam, told him to call my lawyer. Apparently he had all my information, but never called. I never heard of an immigration officer saying, meet me at the Dunkin Donuts. And yes, you are right to say, call my lawyer. Sir T, and you shouldn't be meeting immigration officers at the Dunkin Donuts. Sir T, I have a pending immigration adjudication with the immigration judge coming up soon with an approved I-130 and 3 years marriage. What my green card chances? Again, I would tell you exactly what your green card chances were if I had my magic 8-ball. I don't have my magic 8-ball at home, so I can't tell you what your chances would be. Tiffany, hi, Uncle Brad. Should I include my daughter in Jamaica on the I-944 as part of the household? Her dad takes very good financial care for her, and I only need to send money when I want to and not to set order. If you're responsible for her support, then yes, you have to include her. Kofi Yankson, hi, Uncle Brad. Please, during the Stokes interview, 3 questions mess me up. Question like 1, how many days your husband in a week? She said Monday to Friday, and the husband said he sometimes works Saturday and Sunday overtime. I guess how many days does your husband work a week? 2, what did your wife eat last night? The husband said rice, and the wife said seafood. 3, how did you go to the wedding center? One said by car and one said by train. The officer called them together and asked the U.S. citizen wife to explain all this. After the U.S. citizen wife explained all the questions, the officer gave her some small sheet of paper to sign, and she signed it. Then the officer said, you will hear from me in a month, but I'll bring your case to my supervisor. Please, will that be a problem for the husband to get his green card? Yeah, it sounds like if they're bringing the case to the supervisor, it sounds like they're going to deny you. That's what it sounds like to me. But let's see what happens. AJ, can you file the I-751 based on combination of multiple waivers? No, pick a waiver. After the application's denied based on one waiver before they put you in deportation, you can always file for a different category. They call me Kali. Do you need to send the new form I-944 with the I-130? No, you don't. You need to do it with the I-485, or you need to do it at the U.S. Embassy when you process at the U.S. Embassy. M. Wendy Gibson, my friend is here on a visitor's visa. She now has overstayed because of the coronavirus. No airline to fly her back to the Caribbean. Question, would she be blocked from returning on her next visit? If she overstays, yes, because what she needed to do was file for an extension. It's not an excuse to say, oh, there was no airline, so F it, I'm not going to do anything. That's not a good excuse. You can't just say F it, I'm not going to do anything. So you need to have filed for an extension. Now, if you haven't filed for an extension, if you have not filed for an extension and you just overstayed a very short period of time, You can try to file for an extension now and ask for, extraordinary circumstances why you didn't do it at the time. Maybe it'll work because of the coronavirus, but your friend should be calling me immediately to help with that. Rose Hines says, hi, Brad. My husband's is a U.S. citizen. My daughter's 16 years. Can my husband file for both of us at one time? He needs to do the filing at one time because my daughter would be 17 years old this November. Is it okay for my husband to file for us at once? Yes, of course. You can file an adjustment for you and file an adjustment for your daughter. Or alternatively, you can file an adjustment for you. And if your daughter's in your home country, you can file for your daughter just an I-130. Mayada Abdallah. Brad, I just asked you a few minutes ago. I couldn't find a co-sponsor. I was looking for 2 years, and my income for the third year is $2,000 shortage. You would need to have a consultation. So I don't know what you mean by shortage, and I don't know. I would have to look at all your documents to tell you. So I can't just say yes, no. I know I answered before. I said go get a joint sponsor, but if you can't, then what you should do is have a consultation with me. Troyan Mash. I'm a U.S. citizen. I applied for my parents in Bangladesh. The I-130 was accepted and it's on process. Now I lost my applied reemployment due to COVID-19. Is it considered a public charge? No, it's not considered a public charge, unemployment. Ma Daniels. Hi, Uncle Brad. I filed for an I-130 for my husband and I went to put the K3 in. Is the K3 visa effective? Sure. It'll knock a few months off of waiting. He'll come here a little earlier. Absolutely. On Stella Bella. Good evening, Brad. After filing our taxes for 2019, my husband now owes the government. Our interview got canceled, but we're owing the government affect getting my green card. Owing the government could affect getting your green card if you're not on any sort of payment plan with your taxes. If you're on a payment plan, it should be okay. Suman Magar, I'm a U.S. citizen. My wife has citizenship, and we did an I-130 interview. It was okay. We did it March 2nd. After the interview, they gave us a letter, said their decision will be in 120 days. Why? I don't know why. I wasn't there. Maybe they don't believe it's a real marriage. Maybe they want to review your case. I don't know. I was not there. There could be a million reasons why they need to review it. Short Boss Brown says, hey, Brad, my wife, which is a U.S. citizen, filed for me. Do you think if she files for unemployment, will it affect me? Yeah, maybe. But better off to collect unemployment than nothing. What's going to affect you is not the act of collecting unemployment, it's the act of not having a job. Sharon Winston, we had our interview in January 2020, but no decision was given. Will Corona affect our case? I don't know if it's going to infect your case. It could affect it in that maybe it'll delay. I don't know. Maybe. They should be looking at your case right now. They have nothing to do. They have nobody to interview. So if anything, it should be faster, I hope. Ray M. Hey, Brad, how much do you have to make per year to have a strong affidavit for a family of 6 to not be considered a public charge? Take 20,000, add 3,500 times 6, add that to 20,000, and that would be the calculation. So 3,500 times 6 is 721, about 50,000, somewhere in there. Abdullah, hi, God bless you again. I mean that. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. Before she passed away, she applied for my kids overseas. Everything got to New York City. My wife passed away, so I want to know what to do next. You can do a humanitarian waiver. If you have a green card, you can fall into the shoes of your wife, complete the case, request a humanitarian waiver, and show why it's in your children's best interest to be reunited with you because of some humanitarian reason, which would be pretty self-obvious. You may need some help doing that, but that would be the way to go. Vayulu Akahofo. Hi, Brad. Can I still file the I-90 online if I have the older version green card? I became a permanent resident when I was 7 years old back in 1972. You can. Maybe your parents were citizens before you were 18. Maybe you're a citizen. You should look into that too. Lasser USA. Why does the USCIS transfer your case to different states and return it back? What does that mean? They're just transferring work from one office to another. That's all they're doing. I wouldn't look too much into it. Let's go back to Facebook. See who I missed here on Facebook. Bookie Boo. Hi, Brad. On the DS-260, the address of intent, does it have to be the petitioner's? Well, if you're going to join your family member and your family member is the petitioner, it would be helpful, yes. Lynn Busan. Can I petition my sister as a caregiver in our assisted living facility? You cannot petition a relative in a job because the government presumes you have to prove that your sister's not taking a job away from an American. They presume that you would never hire an American over your sister. So if they know it's your sister, you can't do that. Abdul, my daughter attended an interview in Lagos. They requested additional documents. I sent them mail stating that my willingness for DNA to be sure she's mine, but no word yet for almost 8 months. You may want to give us a call so we contact Lagos. That seems like an extraordinarily long amount of time not to hear from them. Cassandra Campbell, Brad, my green card interview is coming up. My spouse who filed for adjustment of status was working at the time. He now lost his job because of COVID. Can he get unemployment? Will it affect our interview? He can get unemployment, absolutely. It may affect your interview. You may need to get a second affidavit of support. They call me Callie, wants to know, is the USCIS still accepting applications even now in the pandemic? The answer is yes. Patricia Lusant, why do you always skip my question? Why, Patricia? Why do I always skip your question? Because I just didn't see it, to be honest with you. I was going to give you a smart aleck response, but honestly, sometimes I just don't see them. Just luck of the draw. But I got you now, Patricia. She wants to know, I just want to know if there's another way to submit an inquiry to USCIS for a filed humanitarian reinstatement. It's been 2 years and we already submitted affidavits because we did not have additional evidence. You can write them, you can go to your local office. Those are the 2 ways to submit an inquiry. Zanib Zendrenef, Brad, how long does it take to send an EAD renewal last August 2019? And when immigration sent notice of action, and will local USCIS open here in Hawaii? And when are we going to receive our notice of action? I don't know when you're going to receive your notice of action. USCIS says they will reopen again on May 3rd. Let's hope that's the case. When will you get your work permit? I don't have the slightest idea. I don't know what you did. Tanisha Burrell, hey, Brad, I hear they're doing a waiver of green card without an interview. Can that be so? It's very rare that that's done. Ma Daniels, Uncle Brad, is it possible to request for a change of consular embassy from what you initially filed while filing I-130? Yeah, you can request any embassy, but you got to write them and they have to be willing to accept your case. And you better have a really good reason why you have to go to a different embassy. Rose Hines, hi, Brad. I forgot to ask, my husband is a U.S. citizen. How many money he has to be working per year to file for me and my 16-year-old daughter? You have to be 125% above the poverty level. So if there's no other dependents on his tax returns, somewhere in the 30,000 range meets the affidavit of support requirements. However, you still have to be able to prove that you can support yourself, that you can get a job, that you're employable, that you're not going to be on Medicaid or food stamps. So he may need to make substantially more than that. You may need to show that you have a job. It's a lot more complicated these days. Konstantini Latif says, hi, Brad, the Vermont Service Center requested a prima facie after 2 months submitting my form I-360. What does that mean? It means that they reviewed your case and they think that on its face, prima facie means on its face, it looks like a good case. So that way you can go get public benefits. So it's a positive thing when you get your prima facie. Will Dreo, hello, Brad. I had a good faith marriage and I got my conditional green card through marriage. After 1 year of marriage, my wife has been mentally abusing me by not letting me work. Well, then call me and let's have a VAWA consultation. Healthy way, my wife is falling for me, but I come in the U.S. with filing for me. But I came into the U.S. with a B1, B2. It's going to overstay next month. What can I do? File your adjustment application and get your work permit. Zachary E., will my mom lose her immigrant visa if it expired due to the pandemic, if she can't come to the USA, or is she entitled to extend it under the pandemic? She should contact the U.S. Embassy immediately, and hopefully they will extend it. Hey, Brad, is F2A current? It is. That was asked by, but I'll be great. Jet Lee wants to know, hello, Brad. What is the filing fee for an I-485? It's with the I-130, it's $1,760. And with that, folks, I do have to remind everybody, I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we will get our ducks in order here and have a better connection. So our show streams better live. We're gonna work on that and make sure it happens. In the meantime, I wish everybody well. My office is open. I will be back tomorrow on Hump Day. The telephone number to call me is 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.